Hello, my name is Haley Santos, and this is my Sports Medicine 3 injury prevention project done on falling and climbing. During this project, I will give you an overall view of proper falling, some subsections of falling in the program, how to apply that knowledge, and the results of the program done on myself. For the overview, I'll be showing you some bad falls and good falls done by me and Levi. So some bad falls, obviously body's twisting, arms are flailing, we're putting our hands on the mat, and there's a lot of motion and torque going into these falls. Levi eats it quite a bit, so I have quite a bit more videos of him falling. In this video for me, if you watch my feet when I do fall, my ankles slide out from under me and I twist my ankle. Luckily, I rolled it out so I didn't get injured. And for some good falls, pretty much we didn't have that swing. We rolled out our falls, kept our structures pretty much in line. Obviously, it's hard to control a fall, but when you do, it does feel pretty good. Most of the time, we either land on our stomachs or our backs completely, knocking the wind out of us. But on this fall, I was much more confident due to the program, so I didn't put my arms out that much and I stopped myself, and Levi does some pretty good drop-off falls here. So there are little subsections of falling and climbing that kind of prevent you from injuring yourself while falling. One of those would be strength. A lot of climbers get injured when falling due to the lack of strength of their hip muscles, their knees, and their ankles. Their structures aren't strong enough to sustain and take in that fall. Another thing that goes into it is the fall technique. A lot of climbers don't know how to fall properly. Obviously, you don't want to do any twisting motions. You don't want your arms behind you because they could break. You want to absorb the fall and kind of roll it out so you don't take any of that kind of pressure into your joints. And another thing is surprisingly actually your mentality. If you're scared to fall, you're going to kind of tighten up. You're not going to want to fall. You're going to have to down climb. You're not going to be climbing as well, which is a big part of climbing and falling. How to apply all of those little subsections of falling to everyday life. Pretty much you can do some strengthening exercises. Some I did were bridges to make those harder. I went onto my heels to get the hamstrings a bit more. Butterflies to strengthen my hips. You can add bands or weights. You can do clams, both sides for hip strengthening. Bands make it a lot better, but you have to make sure that your knees are in line for that. And here I do some chair holds, which are really hard. If you want to increase that, you can go up onto your toes for some hamstrings and hold it for a certain amount of time. You can also do some heel raises, make them harder. You can add weights to yourself. You can do one-legged heel raises. You can make this even balancing as well. Another thing that you can do is practicing that jump and land, as well as doming your feet. You can do this in everyday life. You can do it while you're brushing your teeth. This just helps keep those structures in line. I have bad knees, so I do this a lot when just standing around. Practicing lands, you can do this just how I do it, rolling back into the heels. You can also do it by jumping off of an actual box. If you are in the climbing gym, you can actually roll that out completely. Finally, my results after performing all these exercises and applying some techniques in falling. At the start of the program, I was really afraid of re-injury since I've had so many climbing injuries. I didn't do bouldering falls at all. I rarely did bouldering. I had extremely weak hips and I had really bad falling form since I haven't fallen in a while. By the end of this program, I was more comfortable falling and bouldering again. I started trying hard on climbs because I was so comfortable with my falling. My hips got way stronger and my flexibility also increased because I did some flexibility exercises, and my falling form improved immensely. Thank you for sticking with me through this presentation. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.